All right, it's time to get you set for the fantasy week ahead with our guys, Pete Jensen and Nick Alberga. Fantasy on Ice. Gentlemen, take it away.
What's up, guys? Great to be with you. We're looking at the injury replacements here today for Gabriel Landeskog, one of the top fantasy producers in the league. Unfortunately, he goes down. He's having knee surgery. The Avs have a plethora of options, Nick, to replace him, including Andre Burakovsky, who was already playing on the top line. But the two guys that I'm looking at, Alex Newhook and JT Compher, 11 goals a pop right now, and I think room for further improvement.
Yeah, certainly, Pete, an embarrassment of riches when it comes to depth. And maybe there's a guy in Philadelphia who could help as well, if you know what I'm saying. But certainly, I think atop my list is Andre Burakovsky. Atop our list is Andre Burakovsky. Pete, also important to note the practice lines from today was Nichushkin, McKinnon, and Rantanen, Newhook, Kadri, and Burakovsky. But there's a lot of depth. And any way you can get a piece of that pie with or without Landeskog, you have to do so, right?
For sure, and Compher's getting a look on power play 1, so that's huge. Burakovsky and Nichushkin, both top 5 on the Avalanche in 5-on-5 points per 60, which is tough to do because they have so many superstar skaters. But yeah, really impressive there. So the first fan question for today, we got Dylan Strome, who's about 21% rostered for the Blackhawks, or Valeri Nichushkin, one of those Avalanche guys. Which way you leaning? I tend to lean toward Dylan Strome because he has been an absolute stud of late.
I love the contract year Stromes, even Matt Strome's an RFA with Philadelphia following this season. But yeah, Dylan, I'm with you on this front. I think you look at the body of work. The sample size is getting rather large here, Pete. Since January 1st, 27 games, 13 goals, 12 assists, 25 points in that time span. And I think important to know with the trade deadline just around the corner, there is the potential that Strome could also be on the move here from Chicago, right?
Yeah, and who better to be playing with? You don't even know if a trade would help his fantasy value. People are probably hoping that he stays and playing with Patrick Kane and Alex DeBrincat. DeBrincat, one of the top goal scorers in the league and also top 15 in shots on goal. And Dylan Strome with a 6-game point streak totaling 11 points during that span. And then looking at the waiver wire for this week, I mean, there are some really good options. Great to see Jacob Vrana come back last week, and he's been fire since coming back, and one of the top even strength goal producers in the league over the past 3 or 4 seasons, Nick.
That's right, and we'll intertwine this as well with sort of a question we got, Vrana or Anthony Mantha, ironically enough, two guys who were traded for each other coming off the same injury as well, and I'm leaning towards Vrana. I think the theme of our podcast, NHL Fantasy on Ice this week or this Monday episode today, check it out, make sure to, was more so underutilized players. And I think certainly Jacob Vrana is one of those guys, I think readily available in standard leagues right now. He has 3 goals in 3 games so far this season, 14 total games, Pete, with Detroit. He's got 11 goals. There's just too much value for me to pass up right now. Do you feel the same way?
He's been amazing when healthy. I'd go Vrana over Mantha for sure. And great to see Vrana covering hits as well as shots on goal over those 3 games. He's got 10 shots and 8 hits. Not normally a player known for his physicality, but he's getting into the mix here for sure. And then one up-and-coming team that's been on our radar the past few weeks, Nick, is the New Jersey Devils, and what their 21-year-old goaltender, Nico Dudas, has been doing. Even strength save percentage-wise, .927, borderline top 10 in the NHL, minimum 10 games. And he has a great record over his past 8. He's 5-3.
Shout out to Kenny Danico, of course, but I'm with you on this front. I think considering the volatility in fantasy hockey when it comes to goaltending, the one constant seems to be, at least since February 1st, is Nico Dudas, the youngster, 5.40, a 2.40, 920 save percentage. You can't ask for much more, and you start to wonder more and more about the future of Mackenzie Blackwood in New Jersey, right?
Right. Dawes might very well be the goalie of the future for the Devils, and he has the pedigree as well. 2019-20 season, this kid led the OHL, one of the top junior leagues, in save percentage and shutouts. So maybe it's exactly what meets the eye. Maybe he has some staying power here, and he's only about 15% rostered in Yahoo Fantasy. Back to you, EJ.
All right, thanks, guys. You're making Kenny Danico very, very happy, talking nice things about Nico Dudas.